The Pacers looking to get promoted to the East Finals.
Yeah, with a 3-1 lead, it will be back-to-back years that they made a conference finals appearance, and they would have to do it in enemy territory against Cleveland. Now, the Pacers taking on the Cavs in Game 5. The Pacers are 9-0 all-time when holding a 3-1 lead in a best-of-7 series and are hoping to close out the series on Tuesday against that man. He's back from injury. First quarter, Cavs lead by 9, and they're playing defense here. Give me the rock. Jared Allen gets it to Donovan Mitchell, and he Venmos Jared Allen for the reverse slam. Call that the cha-cha slide slam because it's a reverse. Later in the first, Mitchell with the steal. Oh, that's tough. And one ref. After the missed free throw, the Cavs would lead by 11. Second quarter, Tyrese Haliburton, this is when he locked in 2+1 from deep. Don't leave him open like that. Pacers now within 7. Later in the second, Haliburton gets another one. Just like DJ Khaled would say, Pacers trailing by 5. This man went 5 for 5 in the second quarter from 3, the most that he's had in a quarter in his playoff career. Pacers trail by 4 at the half. Now we go to the third, just over 7 minutes to play. Pacers trailing by 2. Pascal Siakam, he's also dialed in from deep. Pacers take the 1-point lead. They were down by 19 at one point, under 3 minutes to go in the third. Haliburton, how's your float game? Real good. Pacers up by 10. LeBron James tweeted at this game. He was like, why do y'all overrate this man? Put some respect on his name. DeAndre Hunter, he's got respect on his name too. That's 3 plus a foul. Now at the line, Hunter's free throw won't go, but Evan Mobley gets a rebound, and Darius Garland, don't worry about the toe. He's still getting buckets. 5-point trip down the court for the Cavs, who trail by 1. Now in the fourth, Haliburton going down coast to coast. That's a euro. Earned some flight miles there. Cavs fans getting nervous. Haliburton had 31, y'all. They lead by 7. 2:27 left to play. Mitchell gets one to go from beyond the arc. Cavs within 6. He was doing everything that he can. Mitchell will be fouled. He's on the free throw line. Oof. Misses one. Misses the second. Oh, what's going on here?
Come on now.
Come on, you got this, Mitchell. Lock in, my boy. Misses the third. For the first time in his career, Mitchell goes 0 for 3 from the line after being fouled on a 3. So now, Cavs trailing by 6. Haliburton driving. Mobley will get the block, and now Mitchell will sink the 3. He said, if I'm not going to get 3 at the free throw line, I might as well get it here. He had 35 points. Pacers lead by 3 here. Andrew Nembhard gets one to go in the paint plus the foul. That's tough. Pacers up by 6 after the free throw. Under 30 seconds to play. Miles Turner sinks one from deep. You might as well put them in the coffin for that one right here. Pacers win 114-105 and will head to the conference championship in back-to-back years. Now, the Pacers trail by as many as 19 points tonight before coming back to seal the series, tied for the 4th largest comeback in the series, clinching win this century. Indiana also erased a 20-point deficit last round versus the Bucks to lock up that series, so they just do this.
ESPN NBA analyst Danny Green joins us now. Danny, anybody who said they saw this coming, I'm like, yeah, right. The Cavs fall to the Pacers. What did you see with how they played tonight?
I mean, they fought. They played very well to start the game. But in that second quarter, Tyrese Haliburton got hot, and the game just took a wild turn for them. Nobody expected this because nobody expected them to lose 3 games at home. They lost the first 2 games that they had home court advantage on. And then, game 6, at home. So nobody saw those games being L's, especially with the way that they had healthy players in these last 2 games. They would expect them to make a comeback. But injuries hurt them a little bit, but they just were gassed, man. They didn't have enough in the tank. As you've seen, Donovan Mitchell missed 3 free throws in a row. Very uncharacteristic, very unlike him. But they were up 19, and then, Indiana just kept fighting. Time after time, they made the right plays. Down the stretch, everybody stepped up. Outside of Tyrese Haliburton, Miles Turner hit some big shots, Nembhard, Pascal Siakam. They even got Thomas Bryant in the party. Indiana made the right plays they needed to make, and Cleveland struggled early on. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, I think 4 for 19 from 3. It's hard to win a game when you're not hitting, and the other team is hitting 3s, and you guys aren't making 3s. It's hard to win a basketball game like that.
Yeah, Cleveland, such a dominant regular season, but like you said, it looks like they just ran out of gas. The Pacers, of course, they win, they advance. But you talked about Tyrese Haliburton, how well he played. What impressed you the most about him and these Pacers?
Just his consistency. Mr. Overrated, right? Everybody's calling him overrated. He's definitely not overrated. He's been able to step up time and time again. Last year's playoffs, he probably played well every other game. Not this year. He's a totally different Tyrese Haliburton. He's playing well, 80% of the time now in these games. He might have had one bad game in this series, maybe a game and a half, but he stepped up that second quarter, kept the team poised, knocked down shots, made the right plays, and didn't force it. He had 31 points, but he also had 8 assists, 6 rebounds. He got his teammates involved. He uplifted his teammates. Got Pascal. I said he got Nembhard, all those guys, Neesmith and Ben Mathurin. You got all those pieces to fight and grit out this type of win on the road.
So it's going to be in the next round, Pacers against the Knicks or the Celtics. How do you see the Pacers faring as they advance to this next round?
I see it being a good series. They're more mature than they were last year. They've been there before. They got a chance to play the Knicks in the finals or the second round last year. So as it stands, or as it looks right now, it looks like they're going to be playing the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's my prediction. I see the Knicks wrapping that one up soon, if not by next game. But they're going to play the Knicks, a team that they faced last year in the playoffs, and they've been there. They have the experience that, to be in that type of situation, on that type of floor, with the bright lights on that stage. I think this series, or that series, will go to 6 or 7 games, regardless of who they match up with. But I see them playing against the Knicks and going 6 or 7 games. And it's a series that nobody is putting them out of range or out of doubt. This is a series that they can very much win.
Yep, they were looking past Indy before this series. Not anymore. Danny Green, so great to talk to you. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, huge blow for those Celtics. Jayson Tatum had surgery this afternoon to repair a ruptured right Achilles tendon. The injury happened last night, Game 4, loss to the Knicks. Tatum in the midst of a 42-point night, going for the ball, 3 minutes to go in the fourth when he crumpled down to the ground. As you see there, in pain, they had to carry him off the court. The surgery deemed successful, but no timetable for his return. Now, you look at the odds here, down 3-1 without their best player. The Celtics are still favorites to win Game 5 back at the TD Garden on Wednesday. The Knicks are going to try to close things out and reach the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000.
New on SportsCenter, Donovan Mitchell reacts at the podium.
They've been there. We had some mental lapses, and they capitalized. And those can change a series. You lose Game 1, you're chasing a series. Game 2 happens, chasing, and you give a lot of energy Game 3, and then Game 4, find an uphill battle against a team that has the fastest pace in league history. Yeah.
I saw that you went back out on the court a little bit after the final buzzer. What was going through your mind at that point? What were you trying to process?
Just couldn't believe it. Didn't want to believe it. Don't want to believe it. Still don't want to believe it. It's tough. It's tough to win this league. Give them credit. We didn't do the things necessary. That energy, that crowd. We're 0-3 at home. Let the city down, man. This place is special. This place is really special, and we didn't get it done, Chris. I guess, especially at home, that's what hurts, Yeah. Just feel like for us, we had a lot of positives, but I told you during the year we're going to be judged off this. There's going to be a lot of talk. That's what comes with it. And we didn't capitalize. So now we got to use this as motivation. Everybody's going to write us off. Everybody in here. It's not personal. So what are we going to do about it next year? And, yeah.
I know that not everything is black and white, but considering that you guys had a 64-win season and then have your season end the same game as did last year, do you view this year as a success?
We took a step in the right direction, but we didn't win a championship, and we didn't complete the end goal. So, no, there's no moral victories here. We just didn't get the job done. there's really nothing else to be said.
The Cavs have had a dominant regular season from start to finish, but the road ends here in the conference semis. Cleveland's 64 regular season wins are tied for the third most by a team to not advance to the conference semifinals. Only the Spurs in 2016 and the Mavs in 2017 had more. Now, the Pacers are back in the Eastern Conference Finals after just their second ever series win against a 1 seed. The other came in 1994 against the Hawks. That one, 31 years ago, was wrapped up in 6 games, Ryan. Now, it's the second straight year Indiana reaches the Eastern Conference Finals, a place it has struggled in the past. 1-8 in the conference finals is the worst record in either conference by a team that made at least 3 appearances. On the other side are two teams the Pacers faced last year in the postseason. Indiana is a combined 7-8 in playoff series against those two, but 5 of those wins came against the Knicks, including the semis last year. Now, the Pacers trailed by as many as 19 points tonight before coming back to seal the series, tied for the 4th largest comeback in the series clinching win this century. Indiana also erased a 20-point deficit last round versus the Bucks to lock up that series. Here's Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle after the game.
The winning team writes the script. And, I just have to give our guys credit. They earned this. Look, we're talking about 8 more wins for an NBA championship. We've just got to keep believing. We got a great group of guys. We'll see whether it's New York or Boston.
This group is special. This has been built by many different, moves, and adding P has, been huge for us, and we just kind of went from there. But yeah, man, I don't take this for granted. It's a lot of fun, and winning is fun. So, we just want to continue to do what we're doing and just take this a day at a time. Enjoy this one tonight, but be ready for whoever's next.
And for me, it's just like we have a great opportunity. Last year, like we literally where we was at last year, and when we got in the summer, we talked about getting better. Like, this is the opportunity now to get better. Show that we took a step, and that's the mentality that we have going into the next games is. We have a real opportunity, and we can't take it for granted. I can't stress it enough.
We're different than every other team in the NBA. We don't just have one guy who scores all the points, or I think we defeat teams in different ways. We move the ball. The ball is flying. We got a lot of different guys making shots, making plays. I had a great game, but I think a big part of that was guys were finding me, putting me in the right spots. We knew they were going to throw a punch. We talked about that. We knew that they were going to throw a haymaker there, but I thought we weathered the storm the right way and got going from there. So really proud of our effort and, proud of this group.
And they're proud of you. In the biggest moments, Tyrese Haliburton shows up. His second series clincher with 5 or more three-pointers, tying Reggie Miller for the most such games in franchise history. Haliburton also did it last season in Game 7 against the Knicks.
All right, Ryan, how about this Game 5? The Golden State Warriors will be on the road against Minnesota for Game 5. The Warriors trailed 3-1 right now in the series, and they will try to keep their season alive without Steph Curry, who's still recovering from a hamstring injury that he suffered in Game 1. We now welcome in ESPN NBA analyst Danny Green back with us here on SportsCenter. Danny, the Warriors said Steph will be reevaluated after 1 week when he sustained his injury, and now 7 days later, Curry has officially been ruled out. Hamstrings, they're a tricky injury. How, if at all, can the Warriors survive Game 5 without him to force a Game 6?
I don't think they do. That's the answer. But it's going to take a lot from everybody. It's going to take a lot of prayer, but a lot of Jimmy Butler. We need to see, playoff Jimmy that we see in the Miami Heat uniform and a Golden State Warriors uniform. We're going to need to see Podziemski step up. Kuminga's been playing well. We're going to need that energy from him. Draymond, he's got to keep a cool head and not get in foul trouble, not get technicals, and play really good defense. So it's going to take a collective effort. It's not impossible, but it is very slim and unlikely to me for them to go into that Minnesota building and beat the Minnesota Timberwolves with a Stephless team. But it is very possible. So anything can happen any night in the NBA, in any sport really. But it's going to take a lot of efforts from everybody all over the floor. And I don't know if Jimmy has that type of energy. As we've seen last game, his aggression was nowhere near it was where it needed to be for them to win a ball game.
Yeah, anything is most definitely possible. Kevin Garnett said that. He's a former Celtics. And speaking of Celtics, we have more injury news they don't have Jayson Tatum. And after Tatum underwent surgery with a ruptured Achilles today, the Celtics are going to have to be without him, down 3-1 and having to win in Game 5. How can they overcome the loss of their star player?
This is a tough one, man, and I send my prayers and thoughts to the families of Jayson Tatum and the Celtics, organization, but mostly the Tatum family, because it's a tough injury to end your season on. But this Boston team has more of a chance than the Golden State team. I do believe that they can make it happen because they have so much talent. They have a team that can get hot and kill you in many different ways. A flurry of threes. They have Peyton Pritchard. They have Drew Holiday. They have Porzingis. But those guys do have to step up. They're going to need more from those guys. Derek White's got to be great consistently. They're going to need more from Drew Holiday, Porzingis especially, Peyton Pritchard as well. But this team can do it, and Jaylen Brown has to be the leader. He's been the longest tenured Celtic, and he's the guy that they pay the big bucks to. You got to show them why you were Finals MVP or Eastern Conference Finals MVP last year, or both of them anyway. So he is very much capable of leading this team to getting a W. I don't know if they win the series, but they can definitely win one more game at home in Boston.
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks, Danny. We appreciate your insight.
Appreciate you,
Warriors,
brother.
Yeah, my God. Warriors and Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern. Minnesota leads that series 3-1.
It's a special feeling, to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and talk like I got so many years of experience. I'm in my 5th year. But something I've learned from my vets and just being in the NBA for enough time is to not take winning for granted, and this is a special time, back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. We're not done. We still got, ways to go.
Just couldn't believe it. Didn't want to believe it, don't want to believe it. Still don't want to believe it. It's tough. It's tough to win this league. Give them credit. We didn't do the things necessary. I love playing in that arena, man. Like, that energy, that crowd. We're 0-3 at home. Let the city down, man. This place is special. This place is really special. And we didn't get it done, Chris. I guess, especially at home. That's what hurts,
We showed you Cleveland with the early advantage, but no lead has been safe against the Pacers this postseason. This was their third 19-point comeback during this year's playoffs, including their second to clinch the series. Before this year's Pacers, just 3 other teams in the last 25 years had clinched the playoff series with a comeback win of at least 19 points. Jayson Tatum didn't waste any time. He has already had surgery to repair what turned out to be a torn right Achilles tendon. Tatum went down in a non-contact situation Monday in a game against the Knicks. Tatum facing a rehab process that will extend into next season. Celtics didn't provide a timetable for his return. They'll try to extend their playoff series Wednesday without him. In the era of load management, Tatum has been one of the league's most durable players. At 27, he's played in 706 career games. That's regular season and playoffs, the most in the NBA since he entered the league in the 17-18 season. He's also played on gold medal teams for the U.S. at the last 2 Olympics.